What comes to mind when you first think of the spy? Backstabs? Invisibility? For me, it's a disguise. Blending in perfectly with the enemy, giving you enough time to make the perfect kill to turn the tides of war. However, as you get more experience, that allure of the disguise begins to fade as you realize most people aren't fooled. TF2 has a paradox where team distinction is incredible, yet you still have people constantly shooting at their teams to make sure that they won't backstab them later. For this reason, you don't see that many people using the Your Eternal Reward, a knife that focuses on disguises. However, I feel like a lot of people are missing the potential it provides, so let's look at what it does. The Your Eternal Reward, like any other knife, affects the player's base attributes rather than the direct function of the weapon. Using your disguise now costs a full cloak meter unless you're in spawn, and you consume 33% more cloak while going invisible. However, when you kill someone with a backstab, you immediately disguise as the player you just killed. Not only that, but the guy you just murked in broad daylight doesn't scream, and the death doesn't show up in the kill feed. And that's about it. Let's first look at why people dismiss this weapon as being bad. The first problem of this weapon is the 33% cloak drain. This is a hefty blow and basically forces you to use the L'Étranger on maps low on medium and large ammo packs. Not only that, but using the Dead Ringer is completely out of the question due to the cost of disguising. This severely limits your playstyle, but this isn't the main deal breaker. It's the stigma around disguises. A lot of people view the disguise as something disposable and not effective long term, as the majority of the player base know to shoot at teammates when they look suspicious. So basically the disguise just becomes nothing more than a sentry shield. The Your Eternal Reward flips around the disguise so it becomes costlier with a more long-term effect, which isn't worth it at all. Or is it? While the disguise may not be too good in the open, it's better during the heat of combat. While an enemy will definitely start shooting at a scout flanking, it's safe to say most people will shoot the person that is confirmed to be an enemy rather than someone that might be 9 times out of 10. While detecting a spy, people will rely mostly on either seeing a spy or hearing the noise that are attributed to a spy. Noise like decloaking or the scream of someone who just got stabbed. And take a guess what happens when crucial audio and visual cues are taken away. That's right, you're less likely to get caught. That also means you can get some insane chain stabs instead of everyone looking at you after hearing the medic scream in pain. But chain stabs are not the only thing the Your Eternal Reward can do. You can get some more discreet takedowns and get away with it. Instant disguise of the Your Eternal Reward can give you some great sustainability that allows you to remain undetected. Let's give an example. Let's say the enemy sees a soldier who is firing some rockets. That enemy has confirmation that he's clean. Now let's say the enemy looks away, you decloak, and you stab him. The enemy looks back, and from his perspective, nothing has changed. With the illusion that you're in the clear, you can keep doing this and silently take down all the targets you need. However, I must clarify one more thing. You're not going to do all of this with a typical spy approach. Since your playstyle is so dependent on disguise, you must make the most out of them. Here are some simple tips to make your disguise a lot more convincing. My first tip for Ganks Out is to stop directly going for your targets. If someone sees you just running towards the back, that's a dead giveaway. Strafing is much more subtle and won't get you killed as often. Walking backwards will also make you more convincing. Try to look where you normally look while being the class you're posing as. Positioning is also something to consider. Try to position yourself near places your class would go if you're on the enemy team. This may not be as straightforward, but more often than not, you don't have to look very hard for enemies to stab. But my biggest tip is to not try too much. Fooling the enemy is kind of like being funny. If you try too much, you're going to look like a socially inept loser. Take notes, Reddit. As a side note, this also applies to trick stabs. The times I manage to get a trick stab is not when I'm fully intending on getting one, it mostly just happens. To really drive all my points home, I would like to show a clip that demonstrates how powerful the Your Eternal Reward can be when used at its best. At the start of this clip, I decloak behind these stairs so nobody sees me. I get this first stab on the soldier, which the heavy doesn't see. He fires at me for a second, but then turns away, allowing me to get the second kill. I stay near the cartwheel looking back to give the illusion that I'm not a spy. I finally look back to see a scoped-in sniper, giving me a third kill. The medic has caught on that I'm a spy, but the other sniper and pyro don't notice, allowing me to stab the unaware pyro. I once again circle around the cart, convincing the medic that I'm actually a pyro, as the heavy once again goes back to the cart, getting yet another kill. I circle around the cart for a third time. I think you're seeing a pattern here. Fooling the scout and getting a scuffed kill on him. I body block a sniper who doesn't get fooled, but it's not a problem as he's dead. I run backward to the medic whose back is turned and now dropping his Uber and swiftly taking down the demo. I go back near the enemy spawn to try to get more picks and get one final kill on a heavy before dying to a random crit. That chain step could only be done with the Your Eternal Reward, as any other knife would have revealed my identity too early to keep it going. I think by now that I've proven the Your Eternal Reward is worth using, so let's wrap this up. One final thing I like about this knife is how much it rewards fundamentals. You're forced to make the most out of your invisibility and disguises due to how volatile they are. You just know when is a good time to keep going for stabs or when to sacrifice your disguise to gun down an enemy. It may take a bit to get used to this high risk, high reward playstyle, but it's super satisfying when it all comes together. It's safe to say this knife has made me a better player, and it could make you one too. So give it a try, and it could surprise you how effective it can be. Thanks for watching, and consider supporting this channel by subscribing. Goodbye.